Hey puzzle friends, how's it going? Welcome back, or if you're new, I'm Juby and welcome to my channel. This is a place for anyone who loves puzzles, whether you're new to puzzling or you consider yourself an expert. Today I have a pretty exciting video for you. I have here all 4 of the new PNP puzzles from Soonness, and Soonness has also partnered with me and we have a super exciting giveaway for you. One winner will not only win one of these puzzles, but will win all 4 of them. And a second winner will also win a gift voucher that they can use to pre-order a puzzle from the upcoming PNP event, which is happening in September. So stay tuned until the end of the video and I'll let you know what you need to do to enter the giveaway. Now let's chat a bit more about these puzzles. So you may be wondering what these PNP puzzles are all about. Well, PNP stands for Pick and Pre-Order, and it's a new concept by Soonness. The PNP events happen 4 times throughout the year, where a number of artworks are available to vote on by pre-ordering, but only for a very limited period of time. And then those artworks that receive enough pre-orders will be made into actual puzzles. So I guess in this sense, it's a little bit like how a Kickstarter works. So I think this idea is really cool because it's a great way for us as puzzlers to have a active participation in the puzzle production process, and also just allow us to have a bit of a say as to what kinds of designs we want to see be made into puzzles. The idea behind the PNP events is to give artists worldwide more exposure by sharing their work. The puzzles are also premium quality and have been designed with an enjoyable puzzling experience in mind. And lastly, sustainability plays a huge role in the PNP concept, with the goal to be to only create what was ordered during the event, with the idea to minimize excess inventory. However, for now, the minimum pre-order quantity has been lowered just until people are more familiar with how the events work. What this means is that there's still a small number available of these 4 designs on the Soonness website. So if you missed out on pre-ordering any of these designs at the most recent PNP event, now's your chance to still grab one, but be quick because they probably won't stick around too long. But going forward, this might not always be the case. So make sure during each event you pre-order the puzzles that you really want. Also, as part of the vision for creating more sustainable puzzles, we encourage you to just pre-order the puzzles that you would do a lot of times or that you would share with family and friends, and even consider reusing, reselling, sharing, trading, and donating your puzzles to give them the longest lifespan possible. So far, there has been one PNP event this year, which was in June, where there were 9 artworks available to pre-order, and of the 9, these were the 4 artworks that were successfully turned into puzzles. The next PNP event is coming up very soon in September, so be sure to follow Soonness over on Instagram and also subscribe to the email newsletter on the Soonness website so you don't miss out on any sneak peeks and important information about the event. I'll be sure to put all the information for Soonness in the description box below. So let's take a closer look at all 4 of the puzzles. Soonness very kindly gifted me 3 of them to share with you and just try them out, and I just really liked all 4 designs, so I decided to purchase the 4th one myself. So this top puzzle here is called Treasure Hunters by the artist Frenemy, and all 4 of the puzzles sort of have like a segment of the image on the front and kind of wrapping around the sides, but the whole image is on the back. So yeah, here we've got a very colorful, fun, quirky image. It sort of has all these like weird and wonderful creatures or monsters and maybe even a ghost wandering through a forest. And it looks like they've stumbled across some very friendly looking treasure here. This treasure chest that has little arms and like feet with sneakers and magic coming out of it with a very happy face. But yeah, it's really cute and colorful, and there's like a lot of detail in it actually as well. There's a lot of like lots of little things going on and like different textures and patterns and bright colors. So yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, and yeah, I think this one would be really enjoyable to put together. And then the next one is, I think, equally just as colorful and fun. So this one is called Good Vibes Only by the artist Humberto Cruz. And yeah, it's really cheerful. I don't think you could be at all sad doing this puzzle. So it has the words Good Vibes Only in the middle with little happy love hearts. And then it says smile, love yourself, peace. And then there's all sorts of cute little critters and things. So we've got like a happy bee and snail. We've got a sun, moon, a cat, rainbows, little tiger, a mermaid. Yeah, all sorts of really cute things going on, and I really like the sort of hand-drawn cartoony cutesy style. It's like really cute and just really happy. So yeah, I think this would be a good one to put together as well. And then the next one is also quite colorful. So this one's called Supermarket by the artist Rowon and takes place in a supermarket. So it's this girl who sort of looks like she's just kind of like trying to decide what fun snacks to buy. So yeah, it's really detailed. There's a lot of like intricate little details of all the words and pictures on all the packets of all the snacks and things. Like there's chips and cereal and biscuits and things. But yeah, it's really, really colorful and detailed, and I think I'd have a hard time choosing as well if I was there. And then one of my favorite things about this is there's a sneaky little cheeky looking kitty in the corner here, which looks like it's carrying around snacks in its mouth, but it seems to be dropping them all on the floor. So yeah, very cheeky and cute. But yeah, I think this one's good fun, and yeah, I think this would be really enjoyable to put together as well. And then this last one here is a little bit different than these three. These are really colorful and I guess more cartoony illustrated, whereas this one's a bit more, I guess, subdued and quite realistic looking. So this one is called Gone Coastal by the artist Kathy Ager. And yeah, it's a very hyper realistic image. I believe it's like oil painting and sort of looks like a kind of old style Renaissance painting or something like that. But yeah, it's very realistic, and you know, with these sneakers hanging here and like hanging inside of this sort of like, I guess, stone alcove or archway with like, I guess it's almost a window because you've got this blue and cloud sky in the background. But then there's a few odd things like this butterfly and then these sort of this collection of shells on the bottom. So it's a little bit surreal as well and a bit odd and quirky. But yeah, I really like it. Like, even though it's not as bright and colorful as these three, I just am quite fascinated by it, and I think it looks quite stunning and just really, yeah, interesting. So yeah, I think this would be possibly difficult to put together because it's got a lot of these dark grays and even the blues. But yeah, also, you know, pretty fun to put together too. So out of these four, I'm only doing one in this video because unfortunately I don't have the time to do all, as much as that would be fun to do. So I've actually decided to pick probably the hardest puzzle out of all four and do this Gone Coastal one by Kathy Ager. I think this will be really interesting to put together. I haven't really seen too many people do this one over on Instagram, so I'm excited to do it and see for myself what it's like. So yeah, I will be, you know, putting this one together, and we will unbox it and look at the pieces. You'll see time lapses, and I'll also give you my thoughts on it. But I am planning to also do one of the other ones over on Instagram soon. So I'm thinking of doing this cute Good Vibes Only one over on Instagram. So keep an eye out for that. It'll probably be, I'll be sharing photos of that one soon. So I guess let's have a closer look at this one and yeah, check out the packaging and unbox it. So all the PNP puzzles come in this outer cardboard box just to help protect them. So on the front, we've got a Soonness logo here, and then on this side here, we've got the Soonness website, and that's also repeated on this side here. And then on this side, we have the words reuse, trade, resell, recycle, just to sort of inspire you to give your puzzle longevity. And then I think, yep, on this side, we've got a little sort of tagline, beautiful art in pieces, which I think is really nice. And then on the back here, we've got just a sticker barcode, and it does actually have the name of which puzzle you have. And there's a little hand pointing to this sort of perforated shape here, which I have actually already opened because I have taken the puzzle out of this. And there was actually paper tape here, but I've just sort of cut and removed some of it. So you'll see why we have this little perforated shape in a sec. So yeah, when you open it up, it's just blank there, but we've got this sort of black strip here, and it says, push the bottom to lift up the puzzle box. So yeah, you just grab your thumb or finger and you just push on that little perforated shape, and it kind of, yeah, pops your puzzle out like that. So a bit easier to sort of grab it out of the box. So yeah, and then the box is just plain on the inside. And yeah, I guess you could either store your puzzle back in the box or recycle the box. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then we've got our gorgeous puzzle box here, and it's just a really nice kind of sleek, compact square shape. And so the front has got a sort of section of the image, not the whole image, and this actually wraps around on the sides, which is kind of cool because it means if you got it like sideways on a bookshelf, you'll sort of see like part of the image that the clouds there. So that's pretty cool. Or you can obviously display it like this. And then when we turn it around, it's got the whole image here, and then we've got Soonness written here, and we've got the name of the puzzle and the name of the artist. And then we've got like a little puzzle piece here, which I'm assuming is sort of to give you an idea of what the like piece size is. So I guess we can see in a minute if that's actually the case. And then it says at Soonness, and then we've got a little box here that says 1,000 pieces and 50 by 70 centimeters. I'll pop the inches on the screen. And then we've got a bit of extra info here. So it says designed in Canada, printed in China, printed in soy ink on 100% recycled paper. And then it just has like a little choking hazard and a barcode. And one other thing about the box is it's not completely smooth. It has like a little, it's got a slight texture to it. So if I run my nails across it, it sounds a bit ASMR, like it's got a little, yeah, it's sort of like crosshatch kind of thing. Yeah, but it feels nice though, so, and very sturdy, so that's cool. So if we open this up, oh, that's cool. So the inside, it's not just plain, it's sort of got this golden mustard color, and it actually has a quote by the artist Kathy Ager, "I hope your flowers bloom." So it's kind of cute, just a nice little artist message. And then here are our pieces inside this paper bag. So yeah, they all come, it's all completely plastic free, which is great. This bag has the Soonness sort of girl's face logo, and it says pieces of art inside, so it's cute. So we will rip that open in a sec. And then they actually give you another paper bag. So like when you've, you know, ripped open this one and you don't want to use that one anymore, you can pop the pieces back in here, like after you've done your puzzle, if you want. So on this flap here is the little girl's face logo, and then we've got a little puzzle piece with an S, and it says, put the puzzle pieces here for storing. You can decide to frame the artwork, redo the puzzle many times, trade and resell. Give it a long lifespan. And do you love the artwork? Support our artist by sharing this puzzle on social. Tag hashtag Soonness and then hashtag the artist name. But yeah, I think it's a nice touch that they give you an extra little bag to use. So that's nice. And we also get a postcard here, which is pretty sturdy actually, of the whole artwork, and you can actually use it as a postcard. It's got room for the stamp and a message and all that, or you can, you know, stick it on a pin board or frame it, whatever you like. But I kind of think that's a nice little touch to have that as well. And we also have a poster, which I love. Always love having a reference poster. Just means then you don't have to keep looking at the back of the box or the front or whatever, and you can use the box lids to put your pieces in, so that's cool. So anyway, the poster is quite a nice size. It's big enough that you can sort of, I think, see enough of the details, but it's not like ridiculously big. So yeah, it's like quite a handy size. So I'll definitely be using that later. And then the inside of the box is that golden sort of mustard color again, and just has the Soonness girl face logo. And there is actually some info around the sides of this part of the box, which is just black. So it says beautiful art and pieces, and it has the Soonness website over here. And it has, artist Kathy Ager, based Vancouver, Canada, and then has her actual web address, so that's cool. And then this repeats the beautiful art and pieces and the Soonness website again. And this side repeats the artist's information again. So yeah, it's kind of nice to have that there handy. So I think we should open up the pieces. Okay, so let's just, I guess, tear open this bag. Kind of opens like a chip packet, which I think was the same for the Soonness Spring Premium Art Puzzles. They came packaged like this, and I thought it reminded me of opening like a packet of chips or something as well, which is kind of fun. So yeah, all the puzzle pieces are in there, so let's pour them out. I probably should have poured them in the lid, I realized, so we could see that picture of the puzzle piece on the back, but oh well. I think from looking at these, they do seem to be about the sort of size of that little picture of the puzzle piece on the back. I'd say that's pretty similar. Anyway, there doesn't seem to be too much dust that I can tell in the bag, but I guess we'll sort of see when we puzzle. Has that lovely, you know, new cardboardy puzzle smell, and all the pieces look very pretty. So I guess, yeah, let's talk about the piece shapes. Let's see. Okay, well, we have some pretty, I guess, standard-ish looking piece shapes, like a grid cut. So we've got, you know, a piece that has like a single tab, Found one that has 4 tabs on it. We've got one that has 2 tabs. One that's like inverted, or I guess 0 tabs. What else do we have? Oh, there's one with 3 tabs, and obviously edge pieces. Do we have one that's like the other one with 2 tabs? Probably, I'm guessing we do. Oh yeah, no, that's an edge piece, but kind of. Maybe. Well, we probably do. I'm going to assume we do. But yeah, all the pieces are sort of like kind of your standard piece shapes. And say kind of because they actually have like their own sort of quirkiness about them. So there's almost, the pieces look quite cute. Like even though they have, you know, your classic like 4 tabs, 2 tabs, inverted and all that, there's sort of like an interesting kind of roundness to some of the pieces. I mean, I'll put a close-up of these pieces up there and you'll sort of see what I mean. But they're not like, I mean, I feel like different puzzles have different sort of styles to their pieces, I guess. Like I know like Ravensburger ones tend to be a little bit longer. Cloudberries tend to be similar sort of squarish shape, but less round. Sometimes like Gallison tend to be very long, you know, so I guess different puzzles have a bit of characteristic to their pieces, even if they do have this sort of standard like grid cut kind of shapes. Yeah, but I quite like them. They look very cute and a nice sort of, yeah, compact size, but not too tiny. Yeah, so they look good. And hopefully with them being a little bit more interesting cut, a bit more quirky, they might have less of a chance of having false fits. So yeah, hopefully there'll be, you know, there's enough variation there that they'll have a nice sort of, yeah, they'll all fit well together, and yeah, we won't have too many pieces tricking us, especially with this puzzle, because there is a lot of sections that have the same sort of colors. So that's going to be really interesting to see. And yeah, kind of is important to have a nice piece fit and not too many false fits when doing something like this. Anyway, so let's, I guess, pick a random piece and have a look at it. So the back is a really nice, sort of simple but nice kind of grey board, I guess, or kind of greyish brown board. And then the thickness is, yeah, quite a nice like medium to thick thickness, I guess. Like it looks very, yeah, it's like a really nice, feels really good to handle. Like it's a nice sturdy thickness, and actually it is very sturdy. It's not very bendy at all. I mean, of course you could definitely bend it if you tried, but it doesn't feel soft or anything. It actually feels very like strong. And then the top is quite a nice finish. It's, I guess, like fairly matte, maybe a teeny weeny bit of sheen, and it's smooth, but there is a slight little bit of texture, maybe similar to that sort of, it's actually smoother than the box, but it has almost like a little crosshead texture on it, which you can sort of see if you move it around in the light. But it feels fairly smooth, and yeah, it's not too shiny. So hopefully, yeah, when we're puzzling, we won't have too much sheen or glare. I don't think so, because it's pretty low sheen. But yeah, and if we look at, I mean, I've picked a puzzle that has, I guess, a more restricted color palette, but even so, like when I look at the blue pieces, they look quite bright and very clear. I can like see cloud details on here very like crisply. So yeah, I think that, you know, these will be nice to puzzle with. The image looks really, yeah, crisp and clear, and yeah, the printing looks good. So let me grab our poster out and let's talk about how I'm going to approach this, because I have picked probably out of the 4 puzzles one of the hardest, if not the hardest, because I like a challenge apparently. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing the border first, because we have a lot of very similar, I guess, lines and colors on the border. So I think that could be quite tricky. Although that being said, we might be able to do like this sort of inner archway kind of border, because we've got like this black section here, and then we have like the shells down here. So yeah, maybe we might be able to do that. And then even though the shoes are blue and white and we've got the blue and white sky, it's a different pattern, like a different sort of texture. Like obviously the clouds are very fluffy, so, and the blue is a little bit different than what's on the shoes. So hopefully I might be able to identify which blue goes where, and you know, also be able to pick out like the I guess lines and sort of texture of the sneakers. Like the sneakers have a fairly distinct, more I guess man-made look about them. They don't look as organic as your Sky. And of course we've got things like the butterfly as well. So it's going to be interesting to put this together. I'm expecting it to be quite challenging. I am also putting forth that I may completely scrap what I've just said and do something completely different if I feel that that's going to work better. But you know, I think as sort of usual with like trying out puzzles and puzzle reviews, we'll kind of like I'll get to try and get to about like halfway or a good chunk of the way through the puzzle, and then we'll sort of stop and have a bit of a chat about how it's going and sort of my approach and that sort of thing. So that's my plan going forward, and yeah, I'm both looking forward to putting this together. I think it's going to look really stunning, but I'm also a little bit apprehensive because it does look pretty challenging. But yeah, I'm really like excited to try out these pieces and see how they go. So yeah, I think without further delay, let's get into some puzzling. So I just think this puzzle image is looking so cool. It's just such a interesting and really unique image. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this in a puzzle before, or even just in artwork in general. It's just really different. And I really love how like it's so mind-boggling. It looks almost like a photo, but it's not, and it's sort of got all these like surreal and almost classical elements, but yeah, it's just so beautifully done. But that being said though, it has definitely been very tricky and difficult to put together as predicted. So to get all this bit done and to do a bit of sorting, it took 4 hours and about 15 minutes. So yeah, pretty long time so far. And I really think the rest of the puzzle is going to take at least that long. And I kind of predict maybe even longer, because we've basically got, I've basically done all the colorful and probably most like detailed bits, which in this tricky puzzle is probably the easiest parts. So now I've basically just got this stone archway, and you know, you can probably see I've got a lot of gray pieces here, including the border pieces over there. So I think it's going to take a while, and I'm probably going to have to like sort of sort these like even further. So you know, pull out this sort of darker or black areas and the lighter parts, and anything that has like line work on it, things like that. Whatever I can do to sort of, I guess, help myself figure out where things go. But that all being said though, I have actually been quite enjoying putting this puzzle together. You know, obviously the image is beautiful, but the quality has been really, really nice, and it's just really made for a very good puzzling experience so far. So amazingly, I haven't had a single false fit yet, so I'm really impressed with that. Like, I was sort of expecting, okay, maybe with all these blues and whites, there's probably going to be something that's like a false fit, but no, I haven't had a single one. Everything's sort of fit exactly where it's supposed to go. It's going to be interesting to see if we get any during this sort of outside archway section, since there's so much stuff that's, I guess, the same sort of color and shapes and things like that. So yeah, we'll have to see if I get any there. I don't know. I mean, if I did, it's not going to be completely surprising because, well, yeah, there's so much imagery that looks the same there, but you know, fingers crossed. And yeah, the piece fit's been really good. The pieces just fit so nicely together. Like I said, no false fits, so everything sort of just goes, kind of fits perfectly, like goes where it's supposed to go. And yeah, you can definitely like pick up sections and move them around. I think we could probably even do a puzzle pickup later. And you can still, you know, you might need two hands to do it, but you can still take the pieces apart pretty easily, which is good, especially when, you know, one of the goals behind these PNP puzzles is longevity. You want the pieces to still be able to come apart easily without getting them damaged, so that you can do the puzzle a lot of times and pass it on and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really good and important. And then as I'm brushing the surface, let's talk about that. Yeah, it's been really nice actually. It's been very matte to work with. Yeah, there really hasn't been any issues with glare or sheen at all, which is, again, with a puzzle like this, where there's a lot of, especially in this blue section, and I guess the grays, a lot of colors are very similar and a lot of little details and subtle color differences. Being able to see the pieces clearly has been really important. So yeah, really impressed with that as well. And yeah, as for puzzle dust, there's just a tiny weeny amount. Like, I can see a little bit, but it hasn't been a bother at all. So yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'd almost say it's very minimal. And then I think the only other thing I have to mention is the actual, like, I guess, quality control. Like, are there any damaged pieces? No, not really. I might have seen, like, you know, one tiny little corner slightly bent, but really nothing that's at all affected the puzzle image or how the pieces go together. So yeah, I couldn't even tell you what puzzle piece that was. It was so like unremarkable. But yeah, so overall the pieces are very crisp and not bent, and you know, yeah, just look really well made and really well cut out. No peeling backs or anything like that. So yeah, really pleased with the whole thing overall, and yeah, just so far really enjoying putting this together and having a very good positive puzzling experience. So I think it's time that I get back into trying to assemble the rest of this puzzle. So yes, please send me good vibes, wish me luck as I journey my way through this giant mass of grey pieces. So yeah, I guess I'll see you on the other side. Well, that session definitely took a bit longer than I was expecting. It ended up taking 7 hours, whereas I was thinking maybe it'll take, 4 or 5 hours, something like that. So yeah, a bit longer than I thought, but I'm not entirely surprised actually, because, after doing it, I realized that, there's just so many pieces that are the same shades of gray, and a lot that have the similar markings for being in like the same sections. So yeah, a lot of like sorting by piece shape went into it. So yeah, quite time consuming. And both sessions, including sorting, all up took 11 hours and 15 minutes. So definitely a bit longer than I would spend on like your average 1,000 piece puzzle, I guess. But that all being said, I think it was definitely well worth it, because I think the end result is really stunning, and I just really love how it's turned out. It looks so cool. I love this sort of realistic style. Like, it's just really interesting, and I've never seen a puzzle design like this before. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And I think it would look super cool framed, actually. If you really like framing your puzzles, I think this would be a really awesome one to have on your wall, because it's sort of got an actual frame to it anyway. So yeah, and it would just be so eye-catching and an interesting talking piece to have displayed. So yeah, one thing that also really helped with putting this puzzle together and actually made for a very enjoyable puzzling experience is the quality, of course. So pretty much I agree with everything I said before. I think the pieces fit beautifully together. You can pick up sections. What else? The surface is fairly matte. It's like quite smooth, has a very subtle texture, but yeah, very smooth, and tiny weeny bit of sheen and glare, but not when puzzling. I didn't have any issues with puzzling. I just seeing a tiny bit now from my extra lighting, but yeah, it was quite matte when I was puzzling, so very happy with that. Barely any puzzle dust, and I didn't come across any more damaged pieces. Just, I think that one I mentioned that had a teeny weeny bit of like a bent corner or something from the first session. I can't even remember what it was now, but yeah, there was nothing else that was damaged or anything, so very happy with that. But I think, yeah, my absolutely favorite thing was that throughout this whole puzzle, there wasn't even a single false fit. Everything just went together perfectly. And I'm actually a little bit surprised. I just really would have thought, like, even though all the pieces fit beautifully together, I thought surely there's got to be, amongst all this grey section, a false fit. But yeah, there wasn't. So yeah, really impressed. I feel like there's not a lot of puzzle brands that can actually sort of achieve that. Like, I think, to me, that seems like it's a little bit difficult to achieve 0 false fits, but they managed to do it, so I'm very pleased. So yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things. Like, and that kind of makes me feel that if this puzzle didn't have any false fits, then the others in the collection won't either. They should be pretty fun and enjoyable to put together and pretty smooth sailing. So yeah. So I guess, would I recommend this particular design? And I would say absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I mean, of course, it's going to appeal to people who, are, I guess, more willing to, take a bit more time or to put a puzzle together, or are up for a bit more of a challenge, who don't mind doing something a little bit more tricky or time consuming. And it is like, I guess, the color scheme, to me, it's still fairly bright in the middle, but obviously it's a bit more like dark around the edges, so it's not quite as bright and colorful as maybe the other 3. So if you wanted something a bit more subdued, maybe this is more for you. But I love bright colors as demonstrated, but I really like this. I just think it looks super cool. So I guess let's talk a bit more about the other 4 puzzles and like the I guess PNP puzzles as a whole. So let's have a quick chat about these puzzles and the price and that sort of thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing the Gone Coastal puzzle. Love the artwork, the quality, the packaging. Yeah, I really loved everything about it. Had a great experience, and I'm definitely excited to try out these other 3. I think they're just really fun and colorful. Definitely my kind of puzzles, so excited for those. So yeah, I'm really impressed overall so far with the quality and just the range of artworks. And yeah, I just think it's a really cool idea. So yeah, I love that the PNP puzzles really have a big focus on the artist. So it really, lets us as puzzlers discover new artists and art styles and artworks. And I love that, it's not just a pretty picture on the box, but it does include information about the artist. And even in promoting the PNP events, there's like a lot of information provided about each artist, like where they're from and who they are, how they work, what inspires them, that sort of thing. So yeah, I really like that emphasis. I also really love the idea that as puzzlers, we get to have a say and can vote for our favorite designs that we want to see made into puzzles. So yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. I don't think there's that many like puzzle companies out there doing anything like that. I guess the closest thing is like Kickstarters, but yeah, I really like that we can be quite specific in which designs we like. So yeah, I think that's really cool. And of course, I love that it's plastic free and that, you know, there's like a strong emphasis put on sustainability and longevity of puzzles as well. I love the idea that through the PNP puzzles, Soonness is promoting, like, you know, doing puzzles a lot of times, whether it be yourself or passing it on to others, reselling, trading, donating, whatever it is to, you know, whatever it is you can do to give as much life and enjoyment out of a puzzle as possible. So yeah, I really like that idea. I think it's really cool. And yeah, of course, I love like the packaging and the cute bonus items you get, postcard and poster, and I love all the attention to detail. Yeah, I think overall it's a beautiful product. So let's talk about the price. So these are definitely a splurge high-end puzzle. They are $58 US. That does include global shipping though, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, of course, for that price, they're not going to appeal to all puzzlers out there, and they're not even going to be suitable for all puzzlers out there, but I think that's okay. There's definitely people who feel justified in paying that for a puzzle, who are willing to splurge. You know, I think for that price, you know, these puzzles are going to appeal to probably, I guess, people who are collectors of maybe a particular artist's artwork that really want like a specific design, so they're going to go out of their way to get that design, or, you know, in general just appreciate like collecting artwork and really love puzzles and love the combination of the two. I guess that's sort of where I sit, where I love puzzles and I particularly enjoy puzzles that are a bit different and interesting and are a bit special and collectible, you know, so that sort of appeals to me. So I feel, to me, it feels justified, knowing that there aren't going to be that many of these out in the world, and it's going to be definitely a special addition to my collection. And, you know, it might even appeal to those who are looking for a gift for someone out there, like something a bit more special and different and interesting, or, you know, and it might even appeal to those who want to sort of like split the cost with family or friends or something like that, or someone who's planning to resell it or, you know, trade it or something like that. So yeah, I think there are definitely people out there who would be willing to, you know, splurge on these. And I think, you know, for the price, you are getting beautiful puzzles, both in terms of artwork and quality and the whole experience. So yeah, so I guess the question is do I think they're worth it? And I would say yes. I mean, maybe I'm a bit biased because I really love these designs and, you know, I love the whole idea behind PNP. So I guess, you know, I really enjoy these. But, you know, I do think, you know, you are getting a really nice product for the price, and it's something that I think, because it's such a well-made product, it should hopefully last a long time, so you can get a lot of longevity out of it. And it is something that's a bit more special and different, and a bit more interesting maybe than, you know, a really mass-produced puzzle design. So yeah, I would definitely recommend these. Now for the exciting giveaway that you've all been waiting for. First prize is all 4 of these amazing PNP artworks, and second prize is a gift voucher to pre-order one of the puzzles from the upcoming September PNP event. To enter the giveaway, you must be subscribed to this YouTube channel and also be subscribed to the Soonness YouTube channel, which I'll pop on the screen and also put in the description box below. Like this video, and importantly, let me know in the comments below, out of these puzzles, which is your favorite artist and artwork and why. I'm going to be selecting the winners based on the most creative answers, so make sure you get those artistic juices flowing and have fun. The giveaway is open for 3 days from the release of this video, and it's open to most countries worldwide, although unfortunately we cannot ship prizes to Central or South America at the moment. I'll be popping all the details for the giveaway in the pinned comment below, and when it comes time to announcing the winners, I'll be putting that in the pinned comment below, but Soonness and I will also be letting you know over on our Instagram accounts as well. So good luck, get creative, have fun, and I'm looking forward to reading all your amazing comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for even more puzzle content, you can check me out over on Instagram at jigsaw_Juby. Thanks so much, and see you next time. Bye! Ta-da!